that's separating him. Every time Pacquiao even taps Tim Bradley, the crowd gets into it. So don't be fooled by that.
The judges are human, so that has to play into some.
And it does. It's a subliminal thing that judges have to deal with. And don't forget there's pressure on them too from the first fight to get this right. Am I hearing Bradley?
That's Manny.
Oh, all right. I was shocked. Now you tell me you were in that round. Because I can't tell you.
When I can't decide if somebody has won the round or if neither guy has lost the round, to me it's a 10-10 round, but I'm sure.
But that could be a microcosm of the night.
Well, I scored a 10-10 because I can't figure out who won it. And usually the case is that'll be split by the judges. So we got to remember these rounds that are this close.
Gentlemen, I'm giving it actually to Bradley on the fact that I think he landed a couple cleaner shots.
And I wouldn't argue with that because he did land a couple of shots.
You know, one of the things he learned from Freddie Roach was to use his right hand. He didn't have a real professional right hand. He was so good that he could win a fight one-handed.
He's so strong.
And so I'm just mentioning that now because I just wonder, you know, Bradley might have the left hand figured out, but maybe the right hand does some damage.
All right, here we go. This is round number 2.
Well, Bradley's punching with bad intentions here.
Yes, he is, and that's what he said he would do. Try to mix it up with this guy, which some people thought would be a mistake. Nice defense. That was an off-balance sort of situation for Timothy Bradley. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I see what appears to be more intensity of Tim, and Tim just slipped in that Takati sign.
I agree with you, Colonel. He does come out. He has come out more intense, and I haven't seen him throw such hard shots before, at least initially in fights before.
Well, this needs to be brought up sometime. We all learned after that fight that he had fought without socks because he thought it would help him because that's how Mike Tyson fought. He thought he needed something extra to fight Manny Pacquiao, and he himself has said, well, he had never been in a big fight before, and that was a mistake he made. And he wound up with 2 bad feet, legs, had to be wheeled out to the press conference. But he's been through it now.
Well, I don't know if that was so much a case of the socks, a nice big shot landed by Pacquiao, or the fact that Pacquiao's footwork keeps you off balance all night, just like that, which I think was more of the reality of it. Big looping right hand that Bradley just landed on Pacquiao, too. Big round for Pacquiao so far.
Pacquiao landing some decent shots here. Tim hangs on to him on the inside now. Now Kenny Bayless has to separate the two. Crowd doesn't like anytime Bayless does anything. They don't want anything but a fight here. Bradley clips him with the left hand, nails him with the right hand.
Well, Bradley is doing his fight against Provodnikov right here.
And this is not bode well for Bradley theoretically. But he's having some success as well.
We were looking for the Marquez Bradley, and the Provodnikov Bradley shows up.
And thank God.
It certainly is going to make for a more thrilling adventure. We'll see how the fight goes.
Well, it's an adventure so far, Larry, that's for sure. Pacquiao in the white trunks facing you, Timothy with his back to you.
And if Bradley continues to fight like this, not only are we in for a treat, but this fight, either way, could end in very much a knockout, which I did not think was possible tonight.
In the closing seconds, are those 2 big punches that Pacquiao landed going to be enough to win this round for him? And I think the answer to that is yes.
And I thought it landed a couple more than just 2.
Now that was the best punch of the fight. Tim's legs appeared to buckle just a bit.
You know, I've wondered whether the actual fight could live up to the narrative of the fight, of what these two fighters have put themselves through in the last 2 years to get here, and how they've dealt with it.
So far, so good.
Judging by round 2, I think yes is the answer.
Right down the middle. 1, 2, 1. You know what I'm on, right? You get that low, all right? No problem.
All right, we go to round 3 here. The Colonel Bob Sheridan, Larry Merchant, Mario Lopez, and of course Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley. Very even first 2 rounds. We think that probably Pacquiao got the second round on the judges' score sheet. This is round 3. Same with the jabs. Manny making a miss. Caught him with a decent right hand. There's a lot of advertising on the canvas, and this time of the night, the last fight of the night, it gets wet. And it's a little slippery out there in some spots.
Well, we had some ice previously in that down there, and I don't know if they got it away enough, quick enough, but it definitely possibly could have melted, and there's been a lot of sweat there throughout tonight.
Well, it doesn't look like there's a lot of compassion in Manny Pacquiao here tonight.
Not by those big left hands, Larry.
His hair looks like it's angry.
Well, he's landed 3, 4, 5 in a row here.
Big left hands.
It's a nice round for Manny Pacquiao.
And there goes the footwork that caused, I believe, those foot problems earlier for Bradley.
And Manny just dominated that last about 30, 40 seconds. Bradley tries to hang on and whack him.
Manny slapping his gloves together as old, wanted to fight.
Bradley starts to wing some shots. Manny hangs on him, and Manny Bettis does his job. Winging shot again by Tim. Misses again. In the meantime, Pacquiao whacked him with a body shot.
And Bradley's coming back smartly here. Lands a right hand on the way in.
Also taking a lot at the same time.
Yeah, he's throwing caution to the wind for sure. He's willing to risk it all here.
Landed a couple big body shots on Manny, but Manny still landing a couple back on his own.
Talk about intensity. How about this?
This is a fight, gentlemen. This is what we want to see.
Crowd in attendance absolutely loves it wherever you're watching around the world.
Well,
you know you're going to love it.
Bradley said he'd be going for a knockout. Nobody believed him because of his knockout record, which is relatively low. But he's going to do damage.
Hard body shot, uppercut. And Manny right back. And all that, Manny lands one shot. He's missing it out there, too. Bradley moving that head back and forth. Good defense.
Going to the body, Manny.
Boy, Pacquiao having a terrific round for him.
Last 2 rounds have been solid for Pacquiao, landing big shots on Bradley. Bradley landed a couple solid body shots on his own. He continues to work the body, which is a great game plan.
Nice last few seconds for Tim, but not enough.
And Tim walks very slowly back to his corner.
Good observation, Larry. 2 rounds to 1 Pacquiao in my book. Here we're going to take a look at Manny. Well, first a couple of vicious body shots by Bradley to the body. Manny answering, giving a big body shot of his own, coming back with big combinations. Manny never answers with just one shot, constantly moving, coming from different angles. That's what makes him so dangerous.
It's the power of the surprise punch and the angles they come from that fighters don't ordinarily see. And that's why he's had so much success against bigger guys.
All right, we get ready to go to round number 4 here. The MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's Manny Pacquiao in the white. Tim Bradley in the camouflage trunks, and Tim picks it up right away.
Well, is Bradley taking the bet that Manny can't go 12 hard rounds, and that he can, because he just keeps coming forward.
Well, Larry, like we mentioned earlier, he feels like he's got something to prove, even though really he doesn't, based on the Providnikov and Marquez fights. But
well, there are some fighters who always think every time they have something to prove. Marvin Hagler was that way.
And that's what made him great?
Yeah. They had to earn their popularity over a long haul, and they just had to go out there and do it every time.
And that chip on their shoulder is what keeps them long. And that was a big looping right hand that Pacquiao just took, and he took it well. Walking out, backing up with his head straight up, how he got caught with Marquez when he was first knocked down in their last fight.
Round 4, Timothy Bradley trying to pick up the pace here. This is much more even than the last round was. Him trying to keep pressure on Pacquiao constantly. Pacquiao waits, gets off that left-hand lead for him, the southpaw. Touches up Bradley, slowed down just a bit for the moment. More than halfway through this, the 4th round. And still very much up for grabs. Tim lands him. Nice straight right hand. Another one. He might have staggered him.
Well, that's Pacquiao backing up, and Pacquiao's not used to being the counterpuncher. And that's how he got caught with Marquez, and Marquez was aggressive in their last fight the first time with his head back up.
I don't think Manny's legs are 100% right now.
No, I agree with you. He's backing up with his head straight up, and Bradley can sense it.
But at no time during the Pacquiao assault on Bradley was Bradley hurt. But I really think that Manny felt that.
And good body shots by Pacquiao.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it by what he's doing right now, but he was starched with that one shot by Tim Bradley.
But I think he's won the rest of the round rather clearly, so how do you score it?
I don't know.
Well, we still got 30 seconds left, so let's see.
Some guys say damage done, and if that's the case,
yep,
Tim's done enough. If not, then Manny's won the round. And that's why this is so tough for the judges. Loading up the shots is Tim again. Misses with the left. Catches him with the right.
Well, having hurt Manny once, why wouldn't he think he could do it again?
No, I think he thinks he can, Larry. In the closing seconds, who wants it now? See if anybody can get a final assault going here. To make it definitive, Tim tries it. Really winging hard shots. I don't know. I think it's Bradley won the round.
That's a Bradley round. He actually buzzed Manny twice in that round. There's one judge.
Michael Pernick from Florida.
Another judge.
And that's Glenn Trowbridge there. And for these judges, they have to concentrate solidly for 3 minutes too.
And that's the big looping overhand right that Manny got caught with.
And did you see the movement in his upper body there? Watch this. Very staggering. He's right off his feet with that shot. Did you notice that, folks?
Yes.
He came right off his feet. Well, so far, it's everything we wanted. I love it. We're going to the 5th round here.
Manny used to never get caught with those overhand rights, backing out with his head straight up. I don't know if that's a sign of age or fatigue or...
It's a sign of age because, you know, guys that don't get hit early. And one great fighter that comes to mind is Muhammad Ali. You know, in his early career, he never got hit. And later in his career, he got hit a lot.
Sure, like a Roy Jones, guys who rely on the reflexes, of course.
People thought that was more impressive than it was. Some nice low defense, a la Pernell Whitaker style that time for Timothy, which shows strength in his legs. Tries to counter Manny, and then he got the glove up there to carry off most of that. Pacquiao seems to have more intensity in this round now. Tim still hunting him down. Manny up on his toes, bouncing around. Gets off the straight left hand.
Bradley's really done a good job of concentrating on the back, on the body.
Light left hook upstairs, no damage done with that whatsoever. All right, there it is. Manny, the trench goes up. We see some compassion there. Did he tap him on the shoulder, Larry?
No, I just think that was sportsmanship on both their parts. Nothing much happened.
And a nice chance to get a little breather quickly.
Yeah. It looks like Bradley is trying to take a little breather here and just box him now in this round.
Well, they can't go all out 100% of the time.
Bradley's exerted
Just as I said, right?
Tim landed a right hand shot that time. Didn't seemingly take any effect on Manny. Another solid right hand. Now with 50 seconds left in this round, another one of those situations where it's very close. This is still anybody's round.
I haven't often seen Manny backing up like this.
And it usually doesn't bode well for him. Maybe those body shots have slowed him down. He was really effective in the second round when he was being the aggressor and letting his hands go.
16, 15, 14 seconds to go in this round. Bradley trying to make him look bad. That doesn't help you with the judges. I don't know, guys.
I agree. I think he might have lost that round in the last 30 seconds by letting.
Now watch this, Larry. Tim Bradley shot right there. While he was rolling with a punch.
Yeah, he rolled.
The replay. He hit pretty solid.
Hit him solid right there. Yes.
He didn't turn on the punch, but it was a solid punch nonetheless.
But that was the heaviest blow of the round, and if for no other reason, I don't know, maybe I got to give that to Bradley. And you went with Pacquiao for the last 30 seconds, so that may be the way the judges are looking at it.
We have a fight here in which the guy who won last time thinks he needs to redeem himself. The guy who lost the last time thinks if he does the same thing, he can win the fight.
And by the way, after 5 rounds, I've got a dead even, 48-48.
So do I. 3 rounds apiece. And I think more so from a psychological point of view, Bradley feels he needs an emphatic win, a clear-cut victory in the eyes of the public.
Well, in the eyes of the public, both guys need a clear-cut victory because otherwise, are we going to see a third one?
Well, you know, we're interestingly in the position that Marquez was after losing close fights to Manny, and Manny has lost a close fight to Bradley, and he's trying to even the score or better the score. But Manny is 35 years old. Bradley is 30 in the peak of his career.
The absolute peak of his career right now. Moving well as Tim, but nobody doing much offensively for the first minute of this round. And Manny finally opens up, lands a few shots.
And Bradley's used to the big stage now. His confidence is at an all-time high. He's been champion.
Pacquiao's lived on that stage for quite some time now. It's still new for Tim, but certainly in his last 3 fights have been huge stages.
It's amazing to me that he's still fighting at this level for so long. These lighter weight classes.
Although the combination by Manny Pacquiao missed, that one landed. Now he gets through with that one. Tim wings that right hand, and as you saw, whistled it past the shoulder of Bradley, of Pacquiao.
Manny boxing a lot better this round.
Boxing well, but you're not landing a lot, Mario.
Not landing anything really, really effective. You're right.
And that was one of the things that Judge Dwayne Ford from the first fight told me. He said, Now, Manny threw a lot of punches, but he missed a lot of punches, too, especially in the second half of the fight.
But he was the busier fighter, and I think that's going to be key here. We need to see who the busier fighter is in the ring. The looping punch that Bradley's had success with tonight.
Well, if somebody can land something big here in the last 30 seconds, they can still win this round. Either guy. Now you notice Timothy Bradley backing up. Sort of inviting Manny Pacquiao to come in, trying to counter him.
And Pacquiao should take advantage of this.
And he tries to. You know, with all of that stuff, he didn't land a lot of shots.
And I don't know why he doesn't go to the body, because he does that.
But you know what? On aggressiveness, I'm not saying he won the round, but I think the judges are going to give that round to Pacquiao.
I thought he won the round.
Here's the replay with the flurry from Pacquiao, letting his hands go.
How many punches is he landing? More than Tim is.
How many punches is Tim Bradley landing?
Exactly. At least he's being effective. Oh, Manny's mother is putting the hex on him, on Bradley.
Well, that's a hex.
That's some sort of Filipino curse, I believe. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that.
I don't want any hexes.
Now here, when he's on the ropes like that, you have to paint him first. Paint him first, okay? You have to.
Unofficially, at the halfway point, I've got Pacquiao in front by 1 point.
I got him ahead 4 rounds to 2.
I, too, have him ahead 4 rounds to 2.
All right, here we go, round number 7. Don't forget I had the even round, so that's the difference. Tim starts off the 7th round with an urgency here.
Pretty much how he started off the last couple rounds. And Pacquiao answer, though.
Well, one of the things the punter said that, you know, Pacquiao's going to fight the full 3 minutes of every round.
Every fighter does.
That's for sure. But I mean,
what I'm saying is, I've seen in Manny is, you know, he's reinvented himself several times as a fighter for particular fights or particular times in his career. He's boxing him more.
You're right, Larry, and that's a
this
good
is more
observation.
Rios, and with trying to do some damage off of it. And so let's see how Bradley deals with it.
And Bradley just got whacked with a pretty good left hook.
Really good left hook, and he took it well.
Tim seems to want to show how good he is defensively as he works, and he's very proud of himself.
Yeah, but, you know, this kind of upper body
exaggerated movement is tiring, too.
You know, I don't know what it really accomplishes.
Well, I think his objective is, see, he can't hit me. But he's not scoring either, and I think he's just exerting more energy than he needs to.
I mean, it looks beautiful defensively, but you don't score points.
No, I don't count defense if you don't play an offense with it.
I agree.
I agree, Larry. A very good point.
And that kind of defense is just defense.
For defense sake.
And Bradley is just trying to wing hard shots and hoping to land a big shot. He's not boxing his way in. He's not putting himself in the position.
Pacquiao looking really strong in this round. And first time we've seen Bradley hug tonight. This could be a sign of those big shots and exaggerated movies coming into effect. And let's see if, and he feinted just like Freddie Roach asked him to.
And a little staggering the legs is Tim Bradley. Loads up again the right hand, trying to invite Manny in.
And those feints are working, and he listens to Freddie Roach in the corner with the feints, and Bradley inviting him in. Pacquiao continuing.
Why do we think Bradley's doing this?
I think he wants to prove that he's a tough guy, and meanwhile, he's eating some big shots and losing this round in a big way, Larry.
You know, hey, just beat Bradley to win the fight. It shows that he's not sure of himself. that he doesn't think just by being at his best, in the best way he can fight, he should win the fight. He has to do something special.
Very good observation. And here's Pacquiao doing something special, answering with solid punches, and Bradley not being as elusive as he was, and for the first time. And Bradley really in a world of trouble here, mouth open, inviting him in and taking some big shots on the chin.
A lot of energy expended by Manny, but he landed the shots. Tim kind of out on his feet a bit. Took a lot of punishment in that 7th round. Now with Pacquiao beginning to make a statement, it's up to Bradley to try and turn this thing around. Or the intensity that Manny talked about all week. He's got to keep it right here because he's doing well right now. This is round number 8. As you know, it's scheduled for 12.
And Bradley coming out, swinging hard punches, focusing on Pacquiao's midsection. And to Larry's point, Manny doing a good job of boxing and picking his spots to be aggressive in spurts, which at 35 is a smart play.
And Bradley letting him get away with it.
And Bradley backing off now, where in the rounds that Bradley fought well, he was much more the aggressor. He's catching punches again, powering with his left hand instead of driving up the back foot. Of course, what he's trying to do is get himself in position to wing that right hand again, hoping he can catch Pacquiao.
You might see some welts on the right cheekbone of Bradley. Well, nothing to be concerned about, but it shows he has been getting hit by that left hand.
And he sets up right in front of him. Watch for the winging right hand of Tim Bradley, because that's how he thinks he can win this fight. He's not boxing the guy. He wants to start slugging.
I don't think at this level of the game that you can beat quality fighters just by winging and hoping. You got to break a guy down. You got to set things up.
And that's more or less what Manny Pacquiao is trying to do, and doing a decent job of it. It looks to me from some of the gestures of Tim that if he were to win the fight, he wants to show this guy up, and he's not doing it.
No,
well, much has been made about Bradley being a runner in the first fight, and him not manning up, if you will, and wanting to exchange with him. So I think he's trying to prove he's a tough guy and that he can go toe-to-toe with Pacquiao.
But he's not doing it. Or Pacquiao's not letting him do it if he wants to do it. Look at that. What is that?
It's not effective as what it is.
And again, Bradley appears to be very proud of himself, but he hasn't landed anything. He's not going to win this round.
And if I'm a judge, I'm not impressed by those shenanigans.
Well, no, that can hurt you badly.
And those little rabbit punches can't help either.
Seconds ago, Tim gets a light left hook in there. Closing seconds of the 8th.
Looks like a first round feel out now.
Pacquiao didn't really have much of a spurt there. Let's see if he closes out. But it's still enough for me to win the round.
Well, Bradley didn't do much of anything, so you got to give it to Pacquiao, in my opinion, there.
There's Manny. Stiff jab.
Watch the body language now of Tim. Watch this. He almost staggers into the ropes and does. Now we get ready to go to round number 9, and Pacquiao's out in front on all 3 of our scorecards.
According to Joe Diaz in his corner, though, he's telling Bradley that he won that last round, but it was close.
Yeah, he said don't give him a chance to win on the benefit of the doubt.
All right, here we go. Round number 9 in Jim Grand Garden Arena. in Las Vegas, Nevada. Pacquiao, Bradley. Nobody's been down. Both guys have been kind of shaken on different occasions, but more recently, Tim Bradley. Pacquiao doing an excellent job of boxing this guy, as Larry pointed out, the same way he did against Rios, who just cruised to victory there. Bradley wants to land the big blow. He throws the right hand.
Bradley's still winging punches, and
you know, it just strikes me that Manny Pacquiao is a fundamentally more sound fighter. He's not trying to win on his athleticism, as Bradley often seems to do. And that's why he falls. He falls off balance.
Sure. And that's how he hurts his feet. Not because of socks or lack thereof, because he's off balance. Pacquiao keeps him moving, and that's how you sprain an ankle or you dislocate feet, whatever the case was. On that particular occasion, I believe he stepped on his foot.
Pacquiao on the assault as he comes forward, trying to land shots on Tim. Tim walks him back, and he has to separate them. But it's all Bradley on the offense here now. He caught Bradley, so it's all
big shot by Pacquiao.
Pacquiao loading up here. Look at this flurry. Tim again throws a winging shot.
The difference is that Bradley is winging his shots. Pacquiao is shooting his shots.
And Larry, that was quite the flurry, and those hands are still fast at 35 with 5-6 punch combinations. Quite impressive to see.
With a minute to go in this round, and with Pacquiao controlling it, he looks terrific.
Terrific. One of Pacquiao's best rounds.
But Tim, even in all of that hurricane that was on top of him, he still went back to winging one big shot. And it does get him off balance, in spite of the fact he was stepped on, as we'll show you in between rounds, and had him falling into the ropes.
I feel because Tim had some success early around winging the shots. He actually caught him with a big looping right. He's now banking on it as opposed to maybe setting it up or letting him fall into something.
Well, you know, like Larry went back to Mario, he's not trying to break this guy down. He's hoping to catch him with a big shot. And you know, Pacquiao's really, really a good boxer. Because he was caught once by one Manuel Marquez doesn't mean he can be caught again.
Exactly. That's something special. Big round for Pacquiao.
We show you the foot situation here.
So this happens often with southpaws and orthodox fighters. Pacquiao, sort of feet got a little tangled. I don't know if it was necessarily a step, but feet a little tangled there. Pacquiao comes at you at so many angles, and being a southpaw, it's bound to happen. And those hands were flying, a lot of punches landing. Some weren't, but a lot were. Bradley managing to do a little damage of his own, but for the most part, Pacquiao was most effective.
Well, now with 3 rounds to go on my score sheet, Tim Bradley is at the stage where he needs a knockout to win. Or at least some knockdowns.
He seems very emotional in there.
That's a good word. That's a good word.
Rather than poised and calculating.
Hence the tactics, or the antics, I should say.
Yeah, he is emotional. That's a very good observation.
He seems a little worried. He's coming out aggressive as he has every round.
He needs to be aggressive for the full 3 minutes, and he needs to land something big now. That's what he's wanted to do the whole fight. And if he doesn't do it, he's not going to win the fight.
Now this is where Pacquiao, in the last fight, a lot of people accused him of fading, and Bradley's punch output.
Well, in the last fight, I thought that Bradley started to box him more in the late rounds, and that's when he did better. Or maybe got credit for some of those rounds because he was doing better than he had earlier.
And this is, I've never seen Bradley, I don't know if sloppy is the word, Larry, but not as poised, let's say.
Yeah, you know, you use the word poised. Larry said emotional, and I think they both, that's the situation. Like, this guy is really emotional in this fight. And the other guy's such a terrific boxer. You can't get away with it with Manny Pacquiao.
And with all the attention and the focus and the people and the hoopla, Manny remains composed and doesn't let the atmosphere really get to him.
Well, just remember that, you know, he fought Morales 3 times, Barrera twice, De La Hoya, Hatton, Marquez 4 times.
Yeah, those were wars too.
You know, he's been at this rodeo before.
Oh, and it was a beautiful straight left right on the jaw. Bradley, and he took it well, and another one.
Missing shots. Look at the timing shots by Manny Pacquiao. Great left hand. That's his power shot. Caught Tim again. Things aren't working for Tim Bradley right now at all.
Another big
straight left hand right through. That's the way a southpaw fights the right-handed fighter. The straight left hand down the middle. Bradley tries to come off the ropes.
Bradley trying to counter over the left, looking for the left and trying to do something off of it. One of the reasons that Manny hasn't had knockouts in recent fights is that fighters have started to try to looking for that left and daring him to beat him some other way.
Manny having a lot of success with that left hand tonight.
Well, he taps into the light left. I don't think that's going to get you to win the round with 17 seconds to go. Tim blocked him with that one.
And whether by design or not, Manny has been closing most of the rounds better than Bradley, and that somewhere along the way counts.
I agree, Larry.
I got it 98-93 in favor of Pacquiao.
So do I.
So Bradley would definitely need a knockout now.
I only have Bradley winning 2 rounds.
I have him winning 3, so.
Watch these counters now by Pacquiao.
Beautiful left hand. Switches. He's on the other side of Bradley. Another look. Top of the head on the left. And that exaggerated movement was much to the dismay of Bradley. Big left hands by Pacquiao.
Well, Bradley said that if it came to this point in the fight and he knew he had to do some serious damage or some dramatic damage, he would go for it. Let's see what he does, if he can.
Now, his legs just don't look real solid to me tonight. And I go back to the Provednikov fight and wonder how much that style that he fought him took out of him. You can win a fight, and it can take so much out of you. And to me, Tim's legs don't look, I mean, they just don't look really good right now to me.
Well, you know, they look pretty good against Marquez.
Yeah, they did.
Pacquiao now stalking, being a little more aggressive. Big left hands, big shots against Bradley. Bradley hugging, holding on.
You think it's fair to say that Bradley woke up a sleeping champion when he said he no longer had the hunger and the drive and the fire to win?
Well, he certainly looks like he's got it tonight.
There's no lack of compassion. Sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for.
Bradley pawing with that jab as he backs off. That's not his style.
Well, to those people who thought Pacquiao clearly won the first fight, this is we told you so far.
Much more action-packed and not as tough to decide as we thought it might be, at least thus far. Bradley completely on his bicycle now.
I don't want to put the monkey wrench in anything, guys, but I've been informed by a producer that the network in the United States has Bradley ahead in the fight.
Really?
Not Harold Letterman, by the way, but I'm not quite sure who. But that's what they tell me in my ear. I don't believe it. I'm going to go with what we have going.
Yeah, I trust our judgment in the eyes
of the Lord.
Of the Lord. My head. Larry, your thoughts on the Colonel's comments?
Well, I have an old saying that I say to myself, trust your eyes. And
I'm going to trust your eyes, too.
This is a better round for Bradley because he's boxing him more. This is what his strength has always been, not trying to make things happen all at once.
Because many times as Tim has caught Manny's caught him. So, I mean, I don't know, Larry. It's tough. But I trust our eyes, too. I think the Pacquiao's out in front of this fight.
So do I. And yes, he's boxed better in this round, but he still hasn't been as effective.
Well, just the American Network had Manny winning by a huge margin the first time. Maybe they're making it up. Instead of,
right.
We'll see if the officials feel they have to make it up for that call. I had Bradley winning that round.
Watch Bradley land in this shot.
One more round. Should be exciting. Here's Bradley with a counter right over the top.
Well, for what it's worth, going to the 12th round, I've got it scored 107-103 in favor of Pacquiao. And that's what my eyes tell me.
I've got 8 rounds Pacquiao, 3 rounds to Bradley.
As you are.
We have the same scorecard, Larry.
All right, here we go, the 12th and final round. Now, both guys said if they thought it was close, they'd kind of ears back and let it all fly. Bradley definitely, somebody must have told him you're behind. And look at this, both guys are going after it.
Pacquiao's landing hard left to start the round.
And he wants to make it definitive, too.
When the Bradley's corner keeps yelling, we need this round, we need this round. To me, that's the suggestion, the indication is they probably need 3 rounds.
There's been a sense of urgency and worry in Bradley's corner since round 7.
Look at these guys going at it here in the 12th round. Both guys have a sense of urgency. They both want it. Who knows where the way the scoring is if they both need it. We don't think so, but there are some that do. Timothy misses his shot. That wild right hand that he's thrown all night has missed more than it's landed. Part of the reason for that is that Pacquiao has his timing off by touching him up with that.
Well, and you know, Bradley wants to make a last effort, but Pacquiao is raking him and finding the holes when he becomes aggressive, and it's just backed off.
Pacquiao has done a wonderful job, too, of answering every time he has gotten hit. And clearly in this round, he's landed the harder shots.
Manny on the assault, now Tim goes after him. They get tied up, and Kenny Bayless tries to get him separated as quick as he can.
A minute to go in the final round.
Both guys said they'd let it go, but they're both very exhausted because the pace has been pretty heavy throughout the course of this fight. Pretty fast. Bradley looks very exhausted to me.
Bradley is ending it as he started it, winging punches and hoping for the best.
And you're right, Larry. That's been the essence of this fight from Bradley.
Well, they're both fighting with a sense of urgency. Bradley a little bit more intensity, but not landing any more shots.
Well, both of them, neither one of them wants a bad decision.
Nobody wants a bad decision.
Neither one.
Oh, and there's a big cut in the last 30 seconds from Pacquiao.
Time has been called.
Big cut.
Manny's got it by the left eye. Cut.
Oh, and what a buzzkill with the intensity in the last 30 seconds. They managed to go the whole fight without a headbutt. And there was a while there in a stretch where Tim Bradley was known for getting headbutts.
Well, the reason being that Bradley's coming forward, Pacquiao's answering him, and their heads collided.
Bradley trying to finish him off, but he can't catch him. Manny comes back with a nice combination of his own, and this one's all over.
Well, I don't know if it's going to change anybody's mind about the first fight, but I thought this was Pacquiao's fight.
I thought it was a more definitive victory, Larry. Yes. I agree.
I eventually scored it, giving Pacquiao the Bradley the final round. I scored it 116-113 in favor of Manny Pacquiao. I think you might have had it a little bit wider.
I had it Bradley with only 3 rounds, 9 rounds to 3. Pacquiao.
I gave Bradley the first round and I gave Bradley the first round and the 4th round.
So did I.
And then the 5th round I gave to Bradley, which you didn't.
I didn't.
And I gave Bradley the last round, and I assume you didn't give him that round.
I didn't, but I gave him the 11th.
Yeah, I gave him the 11th round too. In fact,
so we're pretty much on the same.
Yeah, we're on the same, a little bit apart, but we both have Manny Pacquiao winning the fight.
Right.
Now it'll be interesting to see how.
And not in a close manner, mind you.
No. Now I understand that the American network has turned things around.
Oh, has it drastically changed? And Manny.
Yeah, that Manny has now won the fight.
Listen, again, you go to the old adage, you ask yourself, who would you rather have been at the end of that fight? And to me, Pacquiao looked like he was in control. He had landed the bigger shots. Bradley looked like the frustrated fighter, the desperate fighter, the emotional fighter. He had his moments, but not enough to seal the victory in my eyes.
Well, I'm quite confident that we're right, and it's a unanimous decision. But Michael Buff will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand, we go to the scorecards. Craig Metcalf and Michael Pernick score it 116-112. Glenn Drobich 118-110. All 3 judges have it for the winner by unanimous decision from Sarangani Province, Philippines. The new WBO welterweight champion of the world, Manny Pacquiao.
Well, there it is.
Wow.
The judges in agreement with us.
Much wider margin.
Well, 2 of the judges had it 116-112, which is basically what I had.
Right.
116-113, you know. But the Glenn Trowbridge had it 118-110. So, you know, and again, with some of the close rounds, early especially, I've got no dispute with any of the judges here.
No, I thought they did a fine job tonight. I thought that erased any sort of controversy. And I think, I think Bradley, he's going to be honest with himself and honest with the public in his post-interview. He feels that he was the better man tonight, Manny Pacquiao. And it's nice to see Mrs. Pacquiao take the hex off of, or at least I hope take the hex off of Timothy Bradley.
So we'll hear, Larry, I expect we'll talk to both fighters, as we want to hear what Tim has to say about the way the thing went as well. Georgie Calvert here from New Zealand. Want to say hello to everybody down in Christchurch who's watching in the pub tonight at the local Valley Inn. A lot of people travel from all over the world to come here. All right, so Mario, we'll take a look at the way the fight unfolded. It started, well, we thought the first round kind of even sort of around, but leaning towards Pacquiao. And And here we go with it. So we moved to round number 3. By this stage, we thought that Pacquiao probably had won the first 3 rounds. And Tim had a different 4th round as he turned it up a bit. And we thought that he fought well in the 4th and 5th round.
He landed some huge shots and was really doing a good job and had a good, look at these that hand speed, had a good game plan as far as attacking the body. But Pacquiao started to box intelligently, catch him, get him up against the ropes, start roughing him up, and really started to implement his game plan. And
then in the 12th round, I thought Tim fought well, but on the other hand, it certainly didn't make any difference on the scorecard because, as a matter of fact, as you know now, Manny Pacquiao went on to win a unanimous decision.
Colonel, should there be a trilogy?
Why not? This fight sold out. It was a big and a good fight. So we'll wait and see what the powers that be, namely Bob Arum, has to say about that. Should it be immediate? How bad is the cut to Pacquiao's forehead?
How unfortunate. 30 seconds left.
I listen to my corner, hands up and don't, timing. Use the pain.
Manny, for a guy who's supposed to be on his way down, you just beat a top-notch fighter in his prime who came out looking for blood early.
A lot of buzz still in the arena. People sticking around, soaking it all in.
Well, they're doing that, Mario, because as a matter of fact, the American commentators are interviewing Manny in the ring right now, and the people are listening to that and they're hearing that, and they want to hear that. But we're going to have it close up and personal when Larry gets in there. By the way, Mario, while we have an opportunity, while we wait for that, great work with you again.
Thank you.
I love you.
It's such a treat for me, I got to tell you.
For a guy who's a Hollywood celebrity, you really know your boxing, and I really enjoy the times that you come and work with it. It's fun to listen to you, and you're not just here. I made the joke about a pretty face. You really do know your boxing.
Well, I really appreciate it. And coming from a legend like yourself, it's truly an honor, and it's such a pleasure to be able to call such great fights, and I look forward to more.
Well, I'm sure we'll be doing more here in Top Rank Boxing.
I want to be with you when you hit your 1,000.
Now, tonight we got up to 966 with the 3 tonight, so
look at that.
We got a way to go. So, an interesting night of boxing. It started out with Brian Vasquez winning a unanimous decision over Jose Felix Jr. Then we saw a unanimous decision, and Jesse Vargas was pushed by Khabib Alikaberdiev to win his unanimous decision. Ray Beltran went the distance in defeating Arash Usmani, who took the fight on a week's notice and made a great account of himself, but Beltran too much for him in the final analysis, and the final fight went the full 12 rounds as well. And you know now that Manny Pacquiao won a very comfortable unanimous decision over Timothy Bradley.
And I think it's safe to say non-controversially, is that a word?
Non-controversial for sure. There's no question in my mind.
I don't think that.
Now here's Larry Merchant, who has Manny Pacquiao in tow. So let's go up to Larry right now. Here you go, Larry.
Thank you, Colonel. Congratulations, Manny. With all the talk beforehand about trying for knockouts, and then he hurts you in the 4th round with a big punch. Yeah. What did you think at that time, and what would happen after that?
After that, he got me in the 4th round, a solid punch, right hook, and then I listened to my corner, Freddie Rhodes, hands up and timing. Don't just counter him.
He seemed to be throwing a lot of wild punches. It's almost like an amateur throwing wild punches. Did you think in there, he cannot beat me by just throwing all those wild punches during the night?
Well, I have to throw a lot of punches because he's throwing a lot of punches too, and
he was throwing all the wild punches.
Yeah, and I'm very careful to throw a lot of punches because his punches is all over outside. So I'm throwing inside. I'm throwing inside punches. So
does that say to you, I'm the better fighter? If he's throwing a lot of wild swinging punches,
I'm not saying that I'm better fighter. My opponent is very tough.
He's the better fighter. No disrespect, like he's
He's a better fighter tonight. He's the better fighter tonight. That's what it is.
Well, Tim, why were you? Was it because you caught him with that first fight?
No, I was trying to time him over the top.
Yeah.
I was trying to hit him with something he didn't see over the top while he was throwing. That was part of the game plan. Throw something over the top while he's throwing. While he's exchanging, throw something over the top and land something big on his chin.
When it isn't working, what do you do then?
Well, I was boxing. Hey, when I was boxing, I was having success.
Right.
And I was able to move. So I started moving on him, boxing and stuff, and then he'll close the gap towards the end of the round. He's still around.
Did you think you had to do more than you did in the first fight to get this fight, to get this decision?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought I had to do more, but that's why I was going for a knockout. I was shooting for a knockout, man. I didn't get it tonight, but you know what? I'm all good.
Did you think you had to do more, or did you think you had to do the same thing you did last time?
No, I'm thinking to do more because it's very big different than the first fight. He improved a lot. It's very tough. He shows his toughness, and I hit him a lot of solid punches, but he's still in standing.
Did it surprise you, or was that your plan that you looked for big portions of the fight like you were fighting Rios? You were boxing because he was on the aggressive, and you were just trying to box him.
Yes, there's a time that I'm looking for a knockout, but his stuff, he's moving around.
Is he a better boxer than people realize?
No, you know what? He has impeccable timing, man, and great footwork, and he's very coordinated on his feet, man. Tremendous punching power, good punching power. I mean, he stung me a couple times in the ring, but I held on. Your
first defeat. What does it feel? What does it feel like to you?
Hey, you know what? I just got to go to the gym and get better. That's all it is. I got defeated here tonight, but you know what? The war ain't over. The war is not over. I lost one fight. The war is not over. I want to be the best fighter in the world. I'm going to go back to the gym. I got to get better.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
And Manny, there were questions not just in Tim Bradley's mind, but in many others. Did Manny Pacquiao still have the zeal, the fire, the hunger to be the best he could possibly be? At the age of 35, you got another full-time job. What did you prove tonight?
Yeah, I proved tonight that my journey in boxing will continue. My opponent is not easy boxer. He's a good boxer. He's tough, very tough, and he shows his toughness. So it's not that easy. So, but thank God for the victory that He gave it to me tonight, and my journey of boxing will continue.
What would you both comment on the journey since the first fight? Both of you had near-death experiences. Your knockout, your fight with Provodnikov.
Yeah.
How did that play into all of this tonight?
Well, I think that everybody came out tonight to see which path both of us was going to go. I came out determined to try to knock him out. He came out, he proved he was a better fighter that night. And, he's moving on and I'm moving on. That's it.
What about you, Manny? How do you feel now, 2 fights after that devastating knockout?
I'm very happy because I don't discourage on my loss with Marquez, and then I continue my journey in boxing.
Is there a chance that you would fight Marquez again if he beats Alvarado next month?
Nothing, there's no problem to me. It depends on my promoter, Bob Arum. My job is to fight in the ring, any opponent, sir.
How long does this journey still have to go?
Well, a couple more years. I can still fight, and I can self-prove that for a better boxer.
Thank you for taking us along on this journey, and thank you, Tim, for helping to make this a great event.
I hope it was a great event, man. I hope we entertain the crowd. Thank you.
Just this final word, we all wanted to see how the paths, the journeys of these 2 fighters would go after their fight 2 years ago, the winding ways that it went, those 2 devastating fights that they went through, and tonight we got another chapter in their story that is not ended yet, and one that will satisfy many of us that we saw what we saw the first time. We didn't not see what we saw that time. Colonel?
All right, thank you, Larry. Two terrific interviews, two terrific fighters. All right, let's take a look at the summary, Mario, of what we saw tonight. The first fight, of course, was Brian Vasquez and Jose Felix. Your comments here.
Well, we saw an underdog really overachieve tonight and take it to this kid who was a prospect. Tough fight. Both showed a lot of heart. Vasquez ended up with a victory, but Felix is 21. We'll see him again.
Kid from Costa Rica. Then we saw Jesse Vargas, who had his hands full with Khabib Alagadeyev, and this was an interesting fight too, in that Vargas had to really reach down deep and go on and get that victory. And then in the next fight, Beltran took on Arish, and that was something else too.
Very crafty fighter, tough fighter, good beard on him. Beltran ended up doing what he had to do with getting inside and hard shots to the body, big left hooks. And it was nice to see him on the side of victory in another close decision.
And then he gets the decision, as you see there. And, of course, in our main event of the evening, it was, not all that we hoped for, I don't think, but it was all that the Philippine fans of Manny Pacquiao wanted. Manny Pacquiao came out and, I would have to say, more or less dominated the fight. Tim really didn't have a plan B. He wanted to land the overhand right, but he was never able to do it.
He had some success and had him buzzed a couple times that we were able to see, but he wasn't able to follow up and really close the show. And Manny, I thought, looked fantastic as far as his footwork, his hand speed against a very athletic fighter. So the sand has not run out of the hourglass there.
All right, so that's the story. A terrific win for Manny Pacquiao and most of the world, and certainly the bettors here in Las Vegas are glad for that. I want to thank everybody involved, our producer Marty Crow and our statisticians Lee Samuels and Ricardo Jimenez. So for Larry Merchant and Mario Lopez and our Christina Poncher and our entire staff at Top Rank Boxing, I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan saying so long, everybody. Good night from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Awesome!
Whoa, that is so cool!
Panda time! Monkey, this place is full of surprises.
Wait till you see this. Let them discover Sky Broadband. Let them watch their favorites on demand. Give them access to blockbuster